Do dueling dragons and samurai warriors bring you a sense of calm and simplicity? Well, they did for this homeowner. Her journey began years ago in California when she decided to make some big changes. She went from a cluttered home with lots of knickknacks and traditional look to a clean, pared down Asian influence. Not only did she change her home decor, but she also changed her wardrobe. She wanted a clean, simple look that carried throughout her life. And for her home, she called Bonnie Jones of Decorating Den Interiors, and they got started. Bonnie, thank you for sharing your designs with us. What was the first meeting like with this homeowner?
Well, the first meeting was here in her home, and it was a total mess. Under renovation, sheetrock dust, mud being put up, kitchen totally gutted. I had no idea what the cabinets were going to look like. She said she had chosen some red silk pendants. I didn't have those to see. We made some decisions on removing chair rail from the dining room and how we were going to configure the mantle. And from there, I just had to create designs from measurements.
So I like this concept drawing that you came up with her to really give her a vision. Tell me about that drawing.
Well, we started with deciding where her leather sectional, again, that I had never seen, where we were going to place that. And then from there, I made trips to market to find the exact products that would complement her personal style.
Well, I'm sure from those drawings she was very excited. Well, let's start the reveal in the dining room.
Great.
Bonnie, tell me about the rug and the other elements in the room.
All right, our base color is all neutral, and so I needed to bring some color and interest into the room, and I chose a rug designed by Barclay Butera based on his trips to Asia. This is based on an antique artwork from the Qing dynasty.
Wow, I love that. So it's from the archives. Tell me about the table.
Now this is in contrast. It's a little bit more of a clean line modern design, but it has this grain pattern in it, which is created by washing out the soft rings of the wood, leaving the hard rings intact.
Oh, wow. I love that. It gives it lots of nice texture. And of course the samurai warriors here.
I know, those were the homeowners, and I knew they'd be perfect on the dining table.
I know, they are dueling. And this light fixture too, very simple and clean, but I like the colors too.
Yes, it was perfect for the room. That belonged to the homeowner as well. She brought it when she moved from California. And my job was to find coordinating pieces to work with her light fixture.
Oh, and you certainly did. These light fixtures that are flanking are just perfect.
Aren't they? You know, when you're a designer and you have access to as many products as we do, it's easier to find just the right thing.
It was the right thing. And tell me about this piece that really anchors the room.
This is also an antique, a true antique from China. One of a kind. Every one of these is unique in size and shape. Red finish, black wash. It was perfect to bring in a little bit more of that red that she loves.
Because that was really the pop of color you planned for every room.
Yes.
I like the texture too in this piece of artwork.
Ironically, this was a piece owned by the homeowner, and like the dining table, it has the growth rings removed by a wash process, which lets you see the beauty of the slice of a tree trunk. And then on the background, we have a woven grass cloth adding to the texture and picking up the color of the lampshades.
You know, it finishes this room nicely. Well, let's go take a look at how your concept drawings came to life. I love artwork because it can establish color and theme in a room. These massive pieces of artwork really define the space. Bonnie, tell me about this art.
This was a great find. These are pieces done by an architect, a commercial architect. His name is Chris LePage, and I found these at High Point Market. They're limited edition, and when I showed them to Roz, she fell in love with them.
Great choice. Well, I noticed that we talked about this as 144 tiles here. Now this is actually a game of challenge, of skill, but it's also a game of chance. It's called Mahjong. And I did look it up. It was brought to the West in the 1920s by Abercrombie and Fitch. And I understand that it impacted the design of this room.
It did. Roz is a big Mahjong player, and one of her requests when I put the design together was to have a game table in the living room.
And so that, you really needed to do great space planning, and you did. She already had this table and chairs.
Right. We recovered the seats to, again, bring in some of the red with the neutral palette that she has elsewhere in the room. And then from there, I found a lantern-looking lamp.
That's fantastic, and it gives you some directional light.
Right on the game, so it makes it easier for them to play.
And right behind us.
The screen is, of course, very Asian-looking, and it helps define the game room area of the room.
As well as the rug. We're going to talk about that.
All right.
Tell me about the rug placement and the space planning in this room.
I chose 2 rugs of the same size, same colors, but a little bit different patterns to create 2 separate areas, but keeping the space unified.
It's open space. You don't have a wall, but it kind of does divide it.
It does break it up, and they're both Asian-inspired patterns. This one is called Chopsticks.
Oh, well, of course.
And then from there, we chose the upholstered pieces, starting with the sofa, which is the next largest piece.
And this feels like suede. It's so
Isn't
soft.
it great? I love this, and it's very end-user friendly. The ottomans were custom made. They're of the same fabric as we have on the pillows, the game table chairs that we've already seen. We like to repeat color to give it a rhythm in the room. From there, we just went with very neutral chairs to finish the seating area.
And it's great because you can seat a lot of people in this room.
I know, it's a small little sitting area. You can observe the game going on in the other half of the room. And then from there, we went and chose another piece of large art, another statement piece. It's the first thing you see after you've seen the warrior and the empress. And we used the same colors in this piece of art. And it's just kind of an abstract, just kind of feels like the other big pieces of art.
Lots of texture over there as well. I like this, would you call it a curio cabinet? What is this?
Yeah, it is a curio or display cabinet. And that was chosen by Roz when we decided that we would go with the warrior and the empress. Originally, we thought we would put shelving units on those walls, but once we saw the artwork, it was done.
Well, hey, while you're showing me how to play Mahjong, we'll take another look around the room.
Great.
Take a look again at what drew this homeowner to the Asian influence. From samurai warriors to dragon rugs, the vibrancy of color, the simplicity of design, the paring down, and the cleaner look. Well, it all came together to influence a life. Okay, so there's 4 seasons, there's 3 dragons, and I know all the flowers because I like those. But how do you win?
Well, not like that.
Okay.
Let me show you.
Okay.